Welcome back, Strongman fans. Sorry for that scary scene. The Reaper scared ya. Oh man. Anyway, yeah. This is the Reaper episode of Fango. These black freaks with red outfits and, of course, scary face with red eyes and red lips and sharp teeth. But yeah, and they're also like part squirrel. And yeah, pretty scary, you know. I'm about to make a third one. Since they're part squirrel, we could probably call them the Reaper squirrels. I just called them the Reapers. I mean, you can call them the Reaper squirrels if you like. That'd be pretty cool. It's a pretty good name because they're like like women that are part squirrel and but they're awfully terrifying looking. I should make a theme song for all these Lunerboonies. You guys get it? The Reapers. Let's go. It's time. Do it, the Reaper action in strong lungs. What you gonna do when the Reapers come to strong lungs and destroy everything? What you gonna do? Hey, everybody should be scared of the Reapers. Everybody should run away when the Reapers are coming to strong lungs. Oh yeah, run away. Watch out for the Reapers, cause they're scary. What you gonna do when you see the Reapers destroying strong lungs? You know? Crazy, you know? Pretty good singer, but hey, at least we love Ush. Not Ush. Sorry. I mean, at least I just love the Reapers, is what I meant. Sorry, none of their names are. It's okay, they don't have a name yet. I'll give them a name soon. Yeah, sorry to be distracted there. Or, like, say a name that wasn't supposed to be said. I gotta use the bathroom, be right back. And that's when we see yeah, and here's the Reapers, like, hey, they're scary. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm back, by the way. So, yeah. This episode will open with, let's say it opens, let's say this is actually the first episode that opens with the meteor, like their asteroid egg crashing on Earth already. Like, it doesn't like open with the dream gate opening. It opens on Earth at nighttime, and then it shows an asteroid crashing on Earth and going. Yeah, it opens in the woods at nighttime, and it shows a bright red meteor that like flies through the sky. Or maybe it should be, let's say it's a white one. I want to save the red one for the next Lunerboonie. And then the asteroid crashes on Earth, and that's when we see a bright flash. And the crazy thing is, he's yeah. This thing is sorry to be too long and think. It's sometimes it's hard to, let's say that, yeah, the Reapers are, let's say they're trying to, let's see, we see them like crash on Earth, and that's when we see them roar, and they wake up, and then we see them come out of their crater. I'm actually about to do another rebirth thing. I mean, like, make a third one. Y'all better watch out, because another Reaper's about to pop up. And yeah, there she is. Yeah, 3 of them. Okay, you know what's going on? Hold on, let me tell my grandmother something. Okay, I'm back now. Notice something? I had to tell my grandmother something funny, because it's just funny stuff gets in my head sometimes when I want to ask silly questions. Because they're funny. You know? These are the... Yeah. So yeah, the Reapers, they come out of the crater. And we see that they're already up to no good. Oh my gosh, the one on the right is really adorable. I think the one in the middle is pretty cute too. The one that you just saw pop up. You know. Oh gosh. Sorry, I'm just thinking about silly stuff right now. Also, I love. Oh gosh. She looks like a good hugger. The Reapers do. The one on the left, I don't. Kind of cute, but I think the one on the right is very cute. You might not agree, but trust me, I think she is. Yeah, too many funny stuff going on. I mean, you know what else is funny? Dogs. Dogs are funny too. Okay, everybody's like, hey, what's going on? And when the Reapers wakes up, they play this song, and it's very loud. They play loud music. Well, let's say they do roar, but then they have like loud. They can destroy like stuff with loud music. I don't know what it. Yeah. And then that's when we see people in strong lungs going like, what is going on? They're like so curious. Let's say this is the episode where you see them in. That's when we see the strong lungs saying, I've been hearing a catchy song last night. It's been shaking the ground. Yeah, they got like earthquake. It's like an earthquake powered song. Every beat would shake the ground. We see that well, they're only like quite a few miles away from let's say let's say that maybe the strong lungs, that maybe that Fango was in. Let's say they were in what's it called? Maybe let's say they were in Cone Springs, and then they were listening to their own song. And he says, "This is a catchy song. This is also a catchy song." And then Fango says, "What do you mean it was also a catchy song?" He says, "Well, I've been hearing like a real catchy song last night. For some reason it was shaking the ground." He says, "What? When I was spending the night with Axel at his house, I found out that he lives here in Cone Springs. He said he's been hearing a loud, song. He hasn't been... Me and him has been hearing a loud song." See? It's really catchy. It was shaking the ground. Suddenly, as it was getting closer, it suddenly broke the windows. Is that why there was a lot of, construction service, it says? Yeah. Well, we see that the Reapers were, causing destruction.
to Cone Springs, even though they were using music to cause destruction. They were shaking the ground, but as they got closer, it just started setting off car alarms and and shattering windows. Danny says, "Oh man, I'm sure that song's gonna get very loud once it gets too close. It's very catchy. I could dance to it." He says. Actually, yeah. And then Axel says, "Yeah, sometimes I think about scary stuff when I'm in bed, but I think this song can actually help me keep that scary stuff behind." And, yeah. He says, "Yeah, this could help me sleep too. It makes me." He says, I usually like to play music while I sleep. It's so I'm not scared of thinking about, so I don't think about scary things happening while I'm in bed. Yeah, you know. And that's when they go back to bed, and that's when we get a time card that says the next day. After they wake up during the situation. Like, after the music. And that's when we see Fango and Daimi hanging out in Cone Springs with Axel and his friends. Daimi and Axel's been telling Fango what happened. He says, there was this loud song. It was really catchy. Well, let's say it opens with their song. Yeah. Let's say they had their, like, once it cuts to the next day, we see that it's daytime in Cone Springs, and we see that there's catchy music. Turns out that the Fango says, this is some good music. But then we see Daimi telling Fango about the song that the Reaper's been making, but he doesn't know where the song. Well, he doesn't know that it was the Reapers because they don't know where the song's been coming from. And that's when Fango tells Daimi about the music. And then all of a sudden, this was actually at noon where Fango was talking and Daimi were hanging out together, and then that's when after we see like Fango talking to Daimi, like they were Daimi was telling Fango about the song he's been hearing last night, as Fango was listening to his song, the one he was playing. That's when we cut. That's when we get a time card that says 5 hours later. That's when we see that the sun is set, and we see that Robert's hanging out with He meets Hacker who's like sitting like on a bench near a fire station, and Robert shows up. Like, he says, "Oh hey, hey Hacker," and then Hacker says, "Hey Robert, I gotta tell you something." And Hacker says, "What?" "There's a strange like song that's playing like he says it's playing like he says there's a strange like song that's playing like 60 miles west of Green Ridge." Or let's say he was playing let's say they were playing he says, "What do you mean by strange?" He says, "It's very strong. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming from something. Must be the Dream Gate." Dream Gate? Yeah, I just noticed that the Dream Gate opened last night. Better tell Fango. I just noticed that the Dream Gate opened last night. But I am detecting like loud music that's like. He tells him that he was detecting like music that was like very loud, and it's like 60 miles west of Green Ridge. Yeah, there's like a strange song that's 60 miles away from that's 60 miles west of Green Ridge. He tells Robert, and then Robert says, "What do you mean by strange? It's very loud." Feels very catchy too. I can hear like he says there's like a strange sound wave that's like that's like 60 miles. Yeah, he tells him that there's a strange sound wave that's 60 miles away from. He says 60 miles west of Green Ridge. He says, what do you mean by strange? It sounds like there's like beats to it. It's like very strong beats. He tells him like he's describing the sound. He says the sound wave. It appears that it's a song. Someone must be listening to loud music. I don't know what they're listening to, but it's very, very loud. Must be a party or something. Well, it's actually a lot louder than just a party. Because I can read that. Because I can tell that there's people who are... Because I'm getting like reports of a strange song being played near Cones. Like it's a very loud like song being played near Cone Springs. Yeah, he explains him about the music. He says, yeah, I can't hear it, said Robert. Robert says, well, that's because you're nowhere near Cone Springs. You can only hear it if you're like near Cone Springs. And then he tells him that the storm. He lets him know they notice a storm's coming. Okay, I was gonna have to pause because I was about to sneeze and I didn't want to sneeze during the podcast. So, well, at least it stopped. You know. And then Hacker tells Robert that. He says, I better tell Fango that the dream gate just opened. That must be why there's a strange song, he says. And then that's when Fango says, well, he doesn't say anything to Fango. That's when we see Hacker leave to tell Fango. And then Robert says, okay, have fun, I guess, says Robert. Hacker says, I'm not doing it for fun, Robert. I'm doing it because it's important. It's a very urgent thing I have to do. Yeah. Yep. You know, you heard what that girl in the Maderlands video said. She says that there's urgent news and urgent means important. And he says that. And that's when when he arrives at Fango's house, he tells him that the dream gate is open. And he also tells him about the song. He says, there's a strange song? Wait, like, what do you mean by strange? People are... It's like over... It's somewhere near Cone Springs. I'm detecting it. I can't hear it, though, except through my system. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a strange... There's like a strange, it's like a strange, sound anomaly or something. I don't think that's the right term. He says, yeah, it's like very loud. I can't hear it from Greenridge. I can only hear it through my system is detecting it, and I can only hear it with my system. I can't. It's very catchy. Here, take a listen. Then he shows it to Fango. Fango says, "Ooh, that is catchy." And then Fango says, "Well, guess it's time I get in my mecha suit and check it out." And then that's when. And then once when he's trying to see, he hears it. He notices it's getting closer because he's entering an area. He says. But then he says, "Oh, I hear something." But let's say he actually ends up in Weberton. let's see. Well, this isn't Cone Springs, it's Weber 10, but I hear something. He tells Hacker on a walkie-talkie, he tells Fango that the song is somewhere near Weber 10. It's moving towards Weber 10, and then Fango says, "Yeah, that's where I am, and I'm starting to hear it." He says, "Oh, really? I don't know what it is, but it's very loud." "Yeah, see, told you it was loud." He says, "But I'm not sure what it is." Hacker says, "I don't know what it is either." And that's when we see the Reapers coming up behind Fango. That's when we see them start fighting. And Fango's like, says, "Aha! Lunerboonies." Says, "Ugh, those ones really got..." Well, let's say he says, "Ugh, those ones are kind of scary." And that's when he says, "I don't know why, but it's spooky." And then that's when he says, "But I gotta fight these girls." He says. Then here's the part where Fango, it's like, sorry about that. Yeah, Fango starts fighting them. Fight goes crazy. Once everybody sees, we see they're singing, they're fighting. Yeah. Yeah, the Reapers are so cute. Never drew them so adorably. Wish I could just wrap my arms around one of them. It's actually the one on the right. That's the cute one. The one I want to hug. Never noticed, but I just love it. Oh, gosh. Sorry. Gotta concentrate. I just have to concentrate, that's all. So yeah, the Reapers, Fango fights them. Fight breaks, and then they're fighting, and now the Reapers are still making music. Let's say they, let's say this battle was taking place near a cathedral. And then all of a sudden Fango was fighting them. Let's say he just, when his first attack, his first attack, he knocks out he just hits, knocks the Reaper's teeth out. He only knocks 4 of its teeth out, but she just regrows them quickly. We see 4 of her teeth crush a few buildings and cars. Yeah. Or let's just say they just fell all over the place. Let's say they just fell in the middle of the street while others fell behind some buildings. Let's say 2 fell in the middle of a street and you see some cars bounce while the other 2 fell behind the buildings. They fall, they fall behind some buildings. Let's say, the camera angle, it was pointed at, in the background you see them fall behind the buildings and shake the ground. And then, but then after that you see the Reapers regrows their teeth. And that's when you see them start fighting some more. We see that people driving their cars sees what's going on. It causes them to crash. They go like, we see a pile up. It causes a pile up because they might need to see something real quick. Hold on me. For y'all, I'll be right back. That's when we see a pile up of 7 cars. Yeah. Once they notice the girl, or not the girls, the Reapers. Yeah, we don't see any other cars crash. We do see a news helicopter. And then, yeah, like looking at them, we see that they're on TV. We cut to the, like, news helicopter, like the person who's, like, I don't know which character, maybe it should be one of my strong lungs. Let's say maybe it's, maybe, let me look through my names. Let's say it's, like the, I would call them a helicopter reporter, but I wouldn't be exactly sure. But I wouldn't say that's right term for it. Yeah, but anyway, hold on a second. Let's say Zach, who's a friendly zombie, a zombie who doesn't he doesn't act like a normal zombie. He just acts like a normal person. He doesn't act like a zombie. He's a zombie who just acts like a normal person. He's like that helicopter reporter. We see him. That's when we see we're in like the camera's point of view where he says, "This is Zach the zombie reporting from a helicopter." And he says, "Here we are going live where Fango is fighting, let's see, he says, "Here we are going live where our friend Fango is fighting a strange black squirrel looking creature." And then all of a sudden, that's when we see them. We see and that's when we see them knock the helicopter. That's when we see their hand comes out of, that's when Fango grabs them, and that's when they let's say they knocked the helicopter out of the sky with the back of their hand, but the helicopter doesn't explode. We just see it, like, its propeller get knocked off. She knocks its propeller off, and then the helicopter, like, it spins and then it falls. But rather than seeing it explode, like, let's say you just see it's like smoke from the helicopter. Let's say the helicopter hit one of the left turn signal water towers, and then the explosion knocks. Maybe let's say it did explode, but we don't see it. Let's say it lands behind trees, but we don't see it. And then that's when we see, like, the flash from the explosion, and then the smoke, and then that's when we see the riser pipe of the water tower fall. It breaks off, and then that's when we see the water tower fall over. That's our, like, left turn. That's one way we see a left turn. Like, that's one way how we see a left turn signal water tower fall. Let's say it fell on the train tracks, and then a train crashes into it. They end up derailing a train. Or let's say it was next to a bridge, and let's say it landed on, like, let's say it landed on, or like, let's say it just bent the rails to, like, a railroad, and then, like, it fell across a railroad, like, and then the train, like, right next to a bridge, and then the train notices it, and then that's when we see the train derail. Yeah, it derails a train, like, lands we see it's half on and half off the train tracks. It's like one on one rail, and then the train hits it, and then it derails. Let's say it doesn't like fall like right next to a bridge. Maybe let's say it does. We just see like, that's when we see the train, and some of it's like train cars like falls and off the bridge, and then, well, we don't see the train like explode or anything. Let's just say it hits the water tower but then derails. Let's say it wasn't like carrying anything explosive. Let's say its tanker cars were actually full of like a non-explosive chemical. That's why you'll see a sign, like a symbol that says not explosive. And that's when Fango realized what the Reapers have done, and then he attacks them for it. But then they attack back. Even though they are squirrels, they're just not directly actual squirrels. But yeah, sorry about that. I gotta concentrate on this episode, not about the Reaper's design. Sorry, I was listening to a voice that my grandfather I thought I heard sound like a chipmunk voice or a squirrel's voice, but yeah, their voice, if they had a voice, it'd sound a lot darker than that, or a lot more scary. But yeah, they're still playing their music, Fango. Yeah, we don't see the cathedral yet, but I mean, we will soon. It kind of, and like I said, it's a dome cathedral Fango defeats these girls with. Or I wouldn't say he uses it to defeat them. Let's say he throws, maybe let's say he must have, or maybe let's say he just throws them. He just throws all three of the Reapers at the cathedral. Or he just slams them, right onto the top of it. Well, maybe let's see which dome cathedral's, top is the sharpest. All of a sudden, let's say Fango. This is the part where you see Fango getting ready to, grab the cathedral. Well, let's say he just, grabs them and swings them. They actually knock over. Let's say they actually knock over a clock tower with their tail. Let's say their tail's strong enough to destroy something, then Fango grabs all three Reapers by their tail. And then he just picks them up and swings them. He spins them in circles. Or let's say he just grabs them by, or let's say he grabs them by the arms. And then they spin. And once he lets go, we see them spin. We see them spin really fast. And then that's when they smash into, all three of them. And then they trip and land on the cathedral. And then they all get spared. Yeah. And then that's when they die. Because the cathedral's point on top, not the antenna, but maybe the cross spares them, and then maybe let's say the other two just hit, there's two smaller domes with a point on top, and then they end up landing on those, and it spares them, and then all three of them collapses, and then the cathedral collapses after they get spared. The one on the right is the one who gets spared by the main dome, the big dome, the cathedral's main dome, and then it gets her right in the center of the chest, and then her music pans down, and then Fango just says nothing. After he destroys them, he just walks away. He just doesn't say anything, then he just walks away and leaves. And that's when we cut to that's when we cut to him back at home, out of his mecha suit, and he's like, I'm not doing that again. Well, he's not like, it's like he's saying, he says, well, he says, well, those girls were crazy, but probably not in the best way. And that's when Axel and Dimey says, you okay, Fango? I'm fine. I was just having a loon. Or let's say he just doesn't tell them until he gets his reward. But then when he gets his reward, which just automatically cheers him up, he says, dang, he says, oh wait. And that's when Axel says, have you been fighting another Lunerboonie? Fango says, yeah. Because the trophy cheered him up, and then they laugh. After Fango realized he got another reward. Once they realized what Fango was doing last night. And that's when the episode ends.